Welcome to Girlfriends Bible Study, a live Bible study with Connie and friends. Each week, Connie and her girlfriends engage in a lively conversation as they read and study Scripture. So, grab a pen, your journal, and your best friend, and enjoy this enlightening Bible study.
Hello, welcome to Bible Study Live with Connie, and welcome to my guest tonight, my sister Gina, and my other sister Debrian. So, welcome. I'm so glad you guys can join me. So, tonight we are talking about pushing through fear, and I will share, as I often do when I'm doing Bible Study Live with Connie, I share why I do Bible Study Live with Connie, which is um, I look at the Bible differently than most people. You know, they study it and they feel that it's just, this difficult to read, not applicable book. And for me, the Bible has so much application. And so when I read it, number one, I see visions, I have stories, there are things that I can. It parallels in my own personal life. And of course, tonight will be no different, where it's paralleling something that I'm dealing with, and often that will be the case where there'll be a message. I'll wake up, I'll have a dream, or somebody will say something to me. I'll get an email or a text message, and it'll be an important affirmation for something that I'm dealing with. And so I was dealing with disillusionment, and disillusionment is a belief issue. It's lack of belief in yourself or belief that the circumstances will work out the way they need to. And I was dealing with that, and I sometimes do deal with that. That's my thing. Where every now and then I'll feel like, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen, or oh my goodness, I don't know enough, or I can't do it fast enough, or there aren't enough resources, or I don't know the right people, or I'm not strong enough, I'm not, talented enough, I'm not experienced enough. Something will come along, and all of a sudden, I feel like I can't do it. I just can't do it. So I was feeling that way last weekend, not this past Saturday, Sunday. It was actually the week prior. I've really been feeling that feeling of disillusionment. And I mean, when God speaks to me, because I always pray and I reach out to my sisters, my prayer warriors, especially, and I let them know what I'm dealing with. And I'd sent the prayer warriors a message letting them know I was dealing with disillusionment. And they immediately started praying. But then God also started sending me all kinds of messages. So, I mean, he sent me messages from people. He sent me messages in paper. He sent me messages via movies. He just sent me message after message. And one of the messages, as my two sisters who are on this call tonight know, came through Jingle Jangle, which was just such a wonderful, heartwarming movie. If you haven't seen it yet, shameless plug for Jingle Jangle. I get no kickbacks. This is not for anything that I get for this. Just to say it's worth watching. If you have a heart, it's worth watching. If you like Christmas movies, it's worth watching. If you like an original story, it's worth watching. So I watched Jingle Jangle on a Netflix party with my sister Gina, but sort of a Netflix party also with Debrian. She was watching at the same time, but just couldn't join the party. So she and I were texting back and forth while we were watching the Netflix party. And one of the songs, I mean, one of the themes in it deals with belief, and one of the songs really dealt with belief. And then there was one about make it work again. Oh my gosh, you talk about hit me up one side and down the other of my head, giving me a 2x4 message. Yet again, there was that message of believe in yourself, believe in yourself. You're really believing in God, you're believing in what He's put in you. That's what you're believing in. You're believing in Him. And after He's done so much and brought you through so much and given you so many blessings and shown you, so many wonders and signs, how we get to a place where we stop believing Him every single time we have a blip, every single time it doesn't go fast enough, every single time it gets hard, He can get weary of us. And yet, so often, He does not. But tonight we're going to talk about where he did a little bit get weary of the Israelites, because yet again, another message, it came through. It came up during a Bible study class that I'm taking, but just a little bit. It wasn't even about that. It was but they talked about the Israelites and how if you don't know, you'll know in a moment in the book of Numbers, chapters 13 and 14. So if you'd like to turn in your Bibles to Numbers 13, you can read along with us. Um, it talked about how they went and took a look at the land and decided, even though God Himself had promised them this land, they took a look at it and they decided those people look like giants. They are from the Nephilim, and we know that Nephilim, well, we don't all know. I happen to know Nephilim are when angels would have sex with humans, and then they gave birth to people who were great big giants. That's part of what's referenced in Deuteronomy and as well as in Numbers, or is it Genesis 6? Anyway, they talk about the Nephilim a couple of places in the Bible, and it's from the giants that spied the land, and then came the angels that looked at humans and saw that, oh, they looked kind of good. Let's have sex with them. Had sex with humans, and then the Nephilim were the blend of the two, angels and humans. So what happens in Numbers 13 and 14 is that they go to take a look at the land that God had already told them. I mean, this is the land they dreamed of, the land flowing with milk and honey, all of that. They took a look at that land and they were like, no way. Those big people in there, we're never going to make it. Now, before I read it, I will say this. For any of you who have a dream, a vision, a project, a business, a concept, a dream of a career, performing, whatever it is, that you look at it and you think, that's way too big for me to do. That the fears of it are so much bigger than my ability to do it. You're like these Israelites that I'm about to talk about. You look at the thing and you decide, it is too much for me to overcome to achieve that thing that I dream about, to achieve that thing that I've been gifted to do. It's too much. The giants, and whatever the giants are, fears, whatever they are, feels like it's too much to even go forward. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say it again at the end. You have nothing to lose, because if you don't go forward, you're definitely not going to get the dream. And if you do go forward and it's too big for you to overcome, you're no worse off than you were, except that you tried it at least. I'm just saying, no matter what, trying it, you have nothing to lose. What if I fail? You do fail if you don't go forward. You won't ever get it. You'll be looked at somebody and think of yourself as somebody who wouldn't even try. So that's what we're dealing with here. And he gave me this again. Like I said, this wasn't even the message that we were learning in the Bible study class, but somehow there was something that was said, and I had to pull it up last night and read about that same thing, that limiting belief, that thing that we think is too big for us to overcome to accomplish our dreams, to get that whatever that land of milk and honey is in our view, because everybody's milk and honey is different. Whatever that is that's keeping you from making that phone call, trying that thing, going forward with that idea, those are those giants. And my words of encouragement to you tonight are to push through the giants, push through the fear, and just go forward, because you have nothing to lose if you do that. You have nothing to lose, and everything to gain. So we're going to read now Numbers 13, and I'm going to skip around a little bit just because he gives all the names. We don't need that for this message, but read it yourself. Numbers 13. All right. So in verse 1, the Lord said to Moses, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. God said, I'm giving it to you. Send some men to explore it. From each ancestral tribe, send one of its leaders. So at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the desert of Paran. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. And it says, these are their names. It gives all their names. Like 13 of them or something. Read through it. You'll read them. Okay, that's all the sons. So read through there. And then it says in verse 16, these are the names of the men Moses sent to explore the land. Moses gave Hoshea, son of Nun, the name Joshua. When Moses sent them to explore Canaan, he said, go up through the Negev and on into the hill country. see what the land is like and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? What kind of towns do they live in? Are they unwalled or fortified? How is the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are there trees on it or not? Do your best to bring back some of the fruit of the land. It was the season for the first ripe grapes, it says in parentheses. So they went up and explored the land from the desert of Zin as far as Rehob toward Lebo. And it gives a bunch of names. And names. And then in 23, verse 23, when they reached the valley of Eshcol, they cut off a branch bearing a single cluster of grapes. Two of them carried it on a pole between them, along with some pomegranates and figs. That place was called the Valley of Eshcol because of the cluster of grapes the Israelites cut there. I love how they always tell us that kind of stuff. This stuff we should know. FYI, by the way, that's why we named it that. So at the end of 40 days, returned from exploring the land. Now, I just want to say, did you all notice that when Moses gave them some direction, he said to them, see what the land is like and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many. And in a way, he's kind of setting them up for, oh my gosh, they're really strong and there's a bunch of them. And I don't know that God told him to do that. I'm just saying. It doesn't say that God said, double check that. He just said, go and explore the land. So here's the report in verse 26 of chapter 13. They came back to Moses and Aaron and the whole Israelite community at Kadesh in the desert of Paran. There they reported to them and to the whole assembly and showed them the fruit of the land. They gave Moses this account. We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. And they put an exclamation mark. Let me see if they did that in the King James Version too, because that's verse 27. Let's see. No, but they did an NIV, and there are very few exclamation marks. Well, I don't see them often in the Bible, but when they do, they mean that. It's flowing with milk and honey. Here is its fruit. But the people who live there are powerful. And the cities are fortified and very large. We even saw descendants of Anak there. The Amalekites live in the Negev, the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country, and the Canaanites live near the sea and along the Jordan. Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. Like, we got this. Y'all, hey, stop talking. We should go get it because we can certainly do it. That's Caleb. Caleb is like, ain't nothing but a thing, baby. Let's go get this land. But the men who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are. How they know? How they know? And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, the land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes. And we looked the same to them. Now, first of all, let's start here. Do you think that those people even saw them? Because if they saw them, wouldn't they be dead? So they decided we look like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we look like grasshoppers to them. If you were a grasshopper in their eyes, they'd have swatted you away. I'm just saying, you saw yourself as little, them as big. You saw the challenges as huge, and you as little and not being able to overcome it. Even though God said back at the beginning, in verse 2, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. Period. End of story. That's it. That's all you need. He said he's going to give it to us. Look at all the things he's done with and for us. We got this. Caleb was like, silence, everybody. We got this. We can certainly do it. That's what Caleb says. But the other people, because they sent what, 12, I think? And of the 12, only Caleb and I think Joshua were the two that were like, no, 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 come on, dudes, we got this. Mm-mm. And that's always the way. Our fears overwhelm us and we think we can't do it. It's too big. We look like grasshoppers in our own eyes. Mm. So then, Numbers 14, the next chapter, the people rebel. Mm-mm-mm. That night, all the people of the community raised their voices and wept aloud. All the Israelites grumbled against Moses and Aaron, and the whole assembly said to them, if only we had died in Egypt or in this desert. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Our wives and children will be taken as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to go back to Egypt? And they said to each other, we should choose a leader and go back to Egypt. All right, y'all, look, listen here right now. Just listen here a second. First of all, if only we had died in Egypt, they said, or in this desert. They were ready to go to death. They said, why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Have they fallen by the sword? Have they? They're convinced. The Lord has already told them it's theirs. How often? Why did God even give me this dream, this gift, this talent, this intelligence, these witty inventions, these innovative ideas? He's not giving me the resource for them. So why did he really? That's how you playing him? He's talking to me too. Y'all don't think I'm talking about you. I'm talking about me. I go right there and I can look back, I mean, on a career that has been amazing. Like, parting the Red Sea, all the stuff that he had done for the Israelites already, the plagues, and saved them from this, that, and the other. And then they come up against this challenge in their minds only. They look like grasshoppers in their eyes only. God's already told them it's yours. And they start grumbling. We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt, they said. We should choose a leader, not the God who brought us out of Egypt, the enslaved, doing the thing on our backs, you dying like slaves. Yeah, right. We should go back there. That's where we should go. Even though that God brought us out of that, took us through the, for real. I mean, for real. But how often are we right there? Are we right there? All the blessings. We got the children, we got the husband, we got the career, we have the voice, we have the writing skills, we've got the business mind, we've got all of those things. Let one bump, one little blip not work out. You know what? You should kill me now. Just take me, Lord. You should have. Why don't you just let me die in the desert? Why'd you even get me that close to my dream only to slay me by the sword? For real? Really? Mm. Then Moses and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly gathered there. Joshua, son of Nun, and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, who were among those who had explored the land, just those two, Joshua and Caleb, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite assembly, the land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against the Lord. And do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone. The Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them. They don't have God on their side, the God who created heaven and earth. We do. How are you going to be afraid of them? We got God on our side. What y'all doing? The whole assembly talked about stoning them. Then the glory of the Lord appeared at the tent of meeting to all the Israelites. The Lord said to Moses, how long will these people treat me with contempt? It's convicting me now. Tommy, how long will you treat me with contempt? One little blip. Your checking account isn't what you need it to be. You're waiting on a contract that you haven't heard about. And you out there laying down like, why? Just take me, Lord. Take me now. Let me die in the desert. What? Really? Connie, how long will you treat me with contempt? How long will you, I'm going to say you instead of, how long will I refuse to believe in God in spite of all the miraculous signs he has performed among me and my family, things that I could see in my life? It says, how long will they refuse to believe in me in spite of all the miraculous signs I have performed among them? I will strike them down with a plague and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation greater and stronger than they. He was done. He was through. Like he didn't even put the R in. He was through. I'm like, and with a plague too. Hey, right? Pandemic. Mm. So I would get rid of him. Dunzo. Dunzo. Right, Abraham? Dunzo. I am dunzo. I'm going to strike them down with a plague and destroy them, but I will make you into a nation greater and stronger than they. Moses said to the Lord, then the Egyptians will hear about it. By your power, you brought these people up from among them, and they will tell the inhabitants of this land about it. They have already heard that you, O Lord, are with these people, and that you, O Lord, have been seen face to face, that your cloud stays over them, and that you go before them in a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. If you put these people to death all at one time, the nations who have heard this report about you will say, the Lord was not able to bring these people into the land he promised them on oath, so he slaughtered them in the desert. Hey, you know when your kids tell you something that you told them, you give them the wisdom, your mentee, your children, and you tell them this is what you're supposed to do, and then when you're going through it, they bring it back to you. But didn't you used to tell me though, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try again? What you doing on the floor? So basically, Moses is giving his words back to him and saying, come on now. You want people to say you couldn't do it? Lord, come on now. Now may the Lord's strength be displayed just as you have declared. And he brings his words back to him. The Lord is slow to anger. Remember you said that, God? Remember you said you were slow to anger? Abounding in love and forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation. He changed that later, just so you know. He doesn't do that anymore. And that's in the Bible. In accordance with that was a quote. He was reminding God of his own word. In accordance with your great love, forgive the sin of these people, just as you have pardoned them from the time they left Egypt until now. The Lord replied, I can hear the heavy sigh. Can you hear it? I have forgiven them as you asked. Nevertheless, as surely as I live, and as surely as the glory of the Lord fills the whole earth, not one of the men who saw my glory and the miraculous signs I performed in Egypt, in the desert, but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, not one of them will ever see the land I promised on oath to their forefathers. No one who has treated me with contempt will ever see it. But because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly, I will bring him into the land he went to, and his descendants will inherit it. Since the Amalekites and Canaanites are living in the valleys, turn back tomorrow and set out toward the desert along the route to the Red Sea. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, how long will this wicked community grumble against me? I have heard the complaints of these grumbling Israelites. So tell them, as surely as I live, declares the Lord, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. In this desert, your bodies will fall. Every one of you 20 years old or more who was counted in the census and who has grumbled against me. Not one of you will enter the land I swore with uplifted hand to make your home, except Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, son of Nun. As for your children that you said would be taken as plunder, I will bring them in to enjoy the land you have rejected. You rejected the land. I didn't do it. You rejected it. But your bodies will fall in this desert. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness until the last of your bodies lies in the desert. For 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explored the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to have me against you. Oh, Lordy Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will surely do these things to this whole wicked community, which is banded together against me. They will meet their end in this desert. Here they will die. So the men Moses had sent to explore the land, who returned and made the whole community grumble against him by spreading a bad report about it. These men were responsible. These men responsible for spreading the bad report about the land were struck down and died of a plague before the Lord. He just get rid of them. Y'all started it. Y'all done. Of the men who went to explore the land, only Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh survived. When Moses reported this to all the Israelites, they mourned bitterly. Early the next morning, they went up toward the high hill country. We have sinned, they said. We will go up to the place the Lord promised. But Moses said, why are you disobeying the Lord's command? This will not succeed. That's not what he told you to do. Do not go up because the Lord is not with you. Y'all had him. Y'all don't do that. You will be defeated by your enemies, for the Amalekites and Canaanites will face you there. Because you have turned away from the Lord, he will not be with you, and you will fall by the sword. Nevertheless, in their presumption, they went up toward the high hill country, though neither Moses nor the ark of the Lord's covenant moved from the camp. Then the Amalekites and Canaanites who lived in that hill country came down and attacked them and beat them down all the way to Hormah. Now, listen, y'all. You haven't died by the plague yet, right? We're still here, which means we still have a chance. He's given us visions and dreams and goals and things that we have in our head that where else would it come from but him? He put it in us. He put those dreams and visions in us. Don't wander for 40 years. Your own accord, being afraid of the giants, of the grass, feeling like you're a grasshopper in their eyes and in your own eyes. Don't do it. Push through the fear and do the thing. Do the thing. Right now, we're alive. We're still going. There are things I will tell you where I felt like I've been wandering in the desert for 40 years. Things that have gotten close. Like I spied the land of milk and honey, and then something happened and I didn't go to it. I'm making a pledge as well. I'm not going to let that be my end. I'm not wandering around this desert any longer. I'm not doing it. I have nothing to lose and everything to gain by following the visions and the plans and the dreams that the Lord has given me. You do too. You do too. Don't be like those men. Don't be like those who were so afraid. You saw what the vision was, you saw the dream, you got right up to it and turn back. Don't do it. Push through the fear and stop grumbling and complaining every single time it seems like there's something bigger than what you can handle. Sure, it's bigger than what you can handle. That's why we have God. Okay? That is my message for tonight. Bible Study Live with Connie. I'd like to ask if my sisters have any comment or question. Gina and Debrian, do you have a comment or a question? And you can unmute yourselves if you'd like.
Much needed word. Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much. Yes, that was right on time. Powerful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I tell you, I'm always talking to me. Bible study is as much for me as it is for anybody else who gets blessed by it. So glory to God that you were also blessed by it. I will see you guys next week, next Thursday. It's Thanksgiving Thursday, so I might record and then put it. I don't know what I'm going to do next week, but next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I'll see you then. All righty. Bye, guys.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.